Was smoking all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. I'm back with another Led Zeppelin reaction. I've been enjoying these Led Zeppelin tracks, truly have. We got rock and roll, and I'm gonna just hop right into it. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell, and go check out my oldies playlist and binge watch that. Since this going to my oldies, I don't say anything or pause till the end out of respect for music that's been here before my time. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. Let's go. This song brought me somewhere, right? I'm gonna explain that in a second. First, I'm gonna read a little bit about, um, what Led Zeppelin, what their official meaning was. It says in this song, in which Robert Plant is harping back on the formative years of rock and roll, hardcore music scholars would argue that the genre traces its origins back to at least the 1920s. And when many of us here and now think of rock and roll, what would likely come to mind in the 1960s and 19 or likely what would likely come to mind is the 1960s and 1970s. But by and large, the general consensus is that the genre as we more or less know it today, originated during the 1950s. That was also the decade in which the Led Zeppelin homies were entering their teens. Homies, is it? And what is being put forth basically is that said music has had a profound impact on the vocalist's life. Indeed, later in the song, he seems to personify rock and roll as a woman he loves, one who he hasn't linked up with in a long time. That latter assertion would suggest one of two ideas. First, as implied earlier, is that he considers the early days of rock and roll to have been its best days, right? And secondly, as if those who were still practicing the craft when this song was dropped weren't holding the genre down correctly. And interestingly, the only song Robert Plant actually name drops from rock and roll's heyday is a 1958 track called Book of Love by an African American group who were known as the Monotones, right? Or Monotones. So, that's the facts of the song. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of what that did for me. Just hearing that song, I don't remember ever hearing that song before, but what it did for me, right? How you like the part was like, it's been a long. Hold on, let me catch it. It seemed just him talking about times being so like right here. Like for a lot of people that's watching, that's from this era, it brings you back to, your first memories hearing this song, what you were doing. For me, being 29 years old, born in 1993, what this did for me, specifically for me, is when I was a kid, right? My mom used to send me away to camp every summer. So she used to send me away, right, every summer to this camp called Sky Lake, right? And there was this one year which was the summer of right before we going into junior high. So it was fifth grade had just ended, and this summer we were going into to sixth grade, right? So we were young, we were kids, we were on the West Shore. When you're older, middle already in middle school towards high school, you're in the East Shore. So me, I remember they put us in. It was about six of us. I don't know why it's held up for. It was about six of us boys that were put in a cabin. Think Parent Trap, because it was just like that movie Parent Trap. If you guys ever seen that with Lindsay Lohan, right? They were twins. It was just like that movie, right? With the girls, the boys, we going to war all summer, playing around. It was just like that. But so the only person that I knew this summer in that cabin was my boy Zach from Whitney Point. And and the only reason I knew him is because before you get to that point, you're going to day camps, to kind of prep you to stay for the summer. So me and Zach already knew each other from years previously, but we didn't know these other five guys that were in here. Long story short, we didn't like each other. It was me and Zach were the only ones that were cool. Everybody was like, we didn't like each other, right? And and I'm gonna wrap. I'm gonna make this quick. I ain't gonna ramble you guys' ears off, but or make it as quick as I can. But so there was one time, right? So me and Zach, we was into ourselves. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was just getting started in boxing and wrestling. Zach was in wrestling. We were where he was from was close to where I was from. We had mutual people we knew, and we were just kind of like egotistical kids, right? We thought we were grown. So I remember there was this one kid from PA, and one time we was in the dining hall, and the kid reached over Zach's food, and Zach like smacked him away, and he's like, "Yo, what's your problem? Your father never taught you any manners?" So the kid goes to the bathroom. He kind of brushes it off. I go in the bathroom, and I see the kid in there crying. And this song really just, it's crazy what music can do, because what this song made me think of all that, right? The kid's in there crying. I'm like, what you crying about? Like, what's going on? Like, I know it sucks. We had attitudes like that back then, right? But like, what are you crying about? Like, what are you doing? You He's crying. He's like, well, my dad died when I was young. Like, I never had a dad. My eyes immediately watered, right? And I told him, listen, man, I never had a father either, you know. Um, and from that point on, there was a bond, and I kept Zach off him for sure. And everybody in that cabin, there was one kid from Norwich, there was another kid from, we were just from different places. Everyone, by the middle of the summer, we was best friends. And and at the end of that summer, when it was time to go home, we was crying. We was hurt because we ended up becoming so close. I remember we was using string when we were supposed to go to sleep. We had these bunk beds in a cabin. We made like this system of out of string where we would like throw notes at each other, and I mean just so creative. We became best friends. And when I listened to this song, it's been a a long time. It's like I don't know where these kids are anymore. Like I don't. That was the last time I seen any of them. I hope everybody's doing all right, but that was the last time I seen any of them. And so I know you guys probably have. I can only imagine your memories from when being from that era. Um, Man, and I remember the kid from Norwich gave me his number, and I probably called like once, and I lost it, and I never spoke to him again. But when you look at my generation now, when I see all these kids and technology, which technology is making a lot of people rich. It's cool. It's got its pros, right? But so many people are disconnected. Man, those connections. People need to learn each other, learn different backgrounds. I mean, when you're around people like that, especially so young, and you're in that developmental stage, and talks of racism comes up, talks of just everything comes up, right? Like you question everything as children, and you build a bond. You build a bond. Man. That's what this song did for me. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, guys. Much love to everybody. Is I'm loving these older songs because it brings me back to a time that I really miss in my heart. I really miss it in my heart. Just yeah, being a kid. And then I have certain friends. They're like, my parents never signed me up for let me do sports or go to camp, and I'd be like, jeez, it sucks, man, because kids miss out. And I understand parents have their own reasonings for things, but those bonds you build, man. Even in seventh grade, when I was on a basketball team, we went undefeated till the last game, and we lost by 3 points. It's like when you look back at those times, you just see how important it is to bond. As humans, we learn it constantly, learning and growing from each other. And what they did with this song, it brought me there. Which it brought me there. It brought me there. It really did. Like, hold on, it brought me there. Just listen to the lyrics. It's crazy how even if someone's talking about something completely different in a song, it's crazy what it could do for another person, or what memories, or where it could bring you just by certain words that are said, what it could trigger within you. But yeah, that was Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. An amazing song, another amazing Led Zeppelin track. Led Zeppelin track. I almost mumbled all crazy there. Um, but with that being said, original link in the description. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell, and check out my oldies playlist. Uh, Probably gonna go ahead and make a separate Led Zeppelin playlist here because this clearly I'm gonna keep going. Clearly it's a connection between me and Led Zeppelin here, right? Clearly. So with that being said, much love. Everybody enjoy your day. And I definitely am looking forward to the comments. You guys' comments are awesome. Um, I love when you guys speak about your memories. Seriously, it does something for me. Like it's man, you know, it's like reading a TV show. When I read you guys' memories, right? But much love, everybody.